Moomin, Mymble, and Little My by Tove Anson. English version by Sophie Hannah. Here's little Moomin Troll, none other, hurrying home with milk for mother. Quick, Moomin Troll, it's nearly night. Run home while there's a bit of light. Don't hang around in woods like these. Strange creatures lurk between the trees. The wind begins to howl and hiss. Now guess what happens after this? Beyond the forest, bathed in light, the air tastes fresh, the grass glows bright, the sun shines down on fields of flowers. Moomin trolls walked for hours and hours, but happy to be homeward bound. He kicks his legs and leaps around. He sees a tall shape, a house, his own. How very tall the chimney is grown, when yesterday the roof was flat. Well, guess what happened after that? That's not a roof or chimney pot. It's Mymble's hair, tied in a knot. She's weeping on a big tin can. Poor thing, thought Moomintroll, and ran to Mymble, begging, please don't cry. I have lost my sister, little My, she told him and began to yelp. She ran away. Oh, Moomin, help! Moomin Troll frowned. Well, let's begin by checking if she is in this tin. Some villain might have stashed her in it. Now guess what happens in a minute. They crawl out on the other side, next to a river deep and wide, where Caphis, with her gruesome hair, gives them a mean and chilling stare, and growls, you fools, I'll make you wish you stayed at home. Now let me finish. Mymble says, quick, let's go. She will bite. And Moomin Troll says, yes, quite right. Perhaps your sister's in this cave. They tiptoe in. They must be brave and find poor little My somehow. Well, guess what happens to them now? Among the boulders piled up high, there is no sign of little My. They search and search but find no trace. The bitter wind whips Mymble's face. Moomin Troll feels extremely glum. He wants his home, his bed, his mum. Where is the warm and sunny day? Then guess what happened right away? Hemulin with a vacuum hose. He got some house dust up his nose. Spring cleaning, though it wasn't spring, was Hemulin's most favorite thing. Disaster struck. His greedy hoover, sucking hard enough to move a mountain, swallowed both our friends into its tube. Round the bends, both Moomintroll and Mymble flew. Moomintroll's milk was sucked up too. He shouted through the gunge and fluff. Oh, mother, help, I've had enough. Stroke of luck. Who would walk by but Mymble's sister, little My? While taking a relaxing stroll, she heard the cries of Moomintroll. She cut the tube and pulled it back. Mymble and Moomintroll were black, with dust from head to toe. My loved. Blimey, the two of you look daft. We have saved you, My, cheered Mymble. Phew. Hemulin, seen thing through and through, chased them away like dust and mess, and guess what happened? Go on, guess. They landed, it was quite amusing, where a fillyjonk was snoozing. Oh, look, said My. What's this red mat? It's fillyjonk. You have squashed her flat, cried Mymble. Look, she's in a rage. Fillyonk howled and split this page. I think the Fillyonk escaped Here, through this filionkly shaped hole, Mymble said. This was her route, so they set off in hot pursuit. To where a new adventure beckoned. Now guess what happens in a second. The hunt is not a huge success. They find the Filion's red dress. But as for Filionk, the creature, sad to say, she doesn't feature. Golly, now she will have to buy a brand new dress, says little Mai. A storm flares up, the lightning flashes on the beach, a wild wave crashes. It simply shouldn't be so scary, bringing milk back from the dairy. My mother needs this milk tonight, says Moomin Troll. Oh, look, a light. A sign of life, a friend, a guide. Now guess what happens, you decide. What an odd sight. What can it be? Some hattie-fatteners sipping tea? Hundreds of the electric chaps who smell of burned out thunderclaps. Let's go, said Mai. We'd better dash before they turn us into ash. Fattering hats, huffed Mymble. Quick, now guess what happens in a tick. Millions of sopping rain drops fall. They get a soaking one and all, except for little Mai, quite jolly, underneath her lovely brolly. The ground already rather wet, from Mymble's tears gets wetter yet. Moomin Troll cries, we need dry land. Wait, here's someone to lend a hand. On the horizon, two big ears, and in between the sun appears. Our friend will soon be found, not lost. Now guess what happens, fingers crossed. Welcome home, Moomin, safe and sound, and welcome friends. Come, gather around. What a relief it is to tell a tale that ends supremely well. Where lovely Moomin Mama sat, collecting berries in a hat. Time for a feast, said Mama. Drinks, scrumptious delights all around. I think a shell, a rose, a fresh baked bun. Oh, I'm so glad to see my son. And gorgeous milk. There's milk galore. Now guess what happens just once more. Yuck! All the milk's turned sour and cheesy. Mama says, never mind, it's easy. Now we have all got a great excuse for drinking sweet pink berry juice.